Hey, Brave Master. Just wanted to have a conversation about understanding the true game of speaking today and give you a little more tips and tricks and information. Actually, I'm going to talk to you about all the different types of speaking that exist and just the benefits and such. The first thing I want to start with is just a reminder that, marketing is required, right? It's a non-negotiable. We know this as business owners. And so what happens is we have all these things that we can choose inside of our marketing strategies. And a lot of them are offline and a lot of them are online. So online can be social media, Facebook ads, podcasting, influencer marketing, all these different types of things. And you're probably hearing a whole bunch about them if you're paying attention online. And you may feel like overwhelmed, like, where do I start? And the truth is all of it is doable. All of it is available to implement in your business. But I believe personally that there's a timing for it. And it's based on what stage you are in your business is how I look at it. I'll cover something that's called the vital pace and kind of a blueprint that I've created in another video, if you haven't seen it already, where I'll go through like the different stages of your business so you kind of have a clue as to where you are. But here's the thing, back to marketing, there is the online options and then there's offline, there's networking, there's sponsorships, there's speaking, which we're going to talk about. And there's hosting events, there's network, did I say networking? All of these things that you can do in person and get yourself out there visible in that way. And my philosophy is that we have to have what's called a marketing mix. And we should be doing these things simultaneously. We should have a mix of I always say the top 10 marketing mix. However, depending on where you are starting in your business, like what phase you're in and where you are, then I usually say, okay, start with the top 3, top 5, right? Just get started and get focused. And so especially if you're in that launch phase, then speaking is truly one of the fastest paths to cash and clients because it builds relationships. So marketing is about relationship, but speaking elevates that relationship even faster, because they're getting to know you. They're not just reading words on a page and, something that's obviously through a computer screen like I am right now. But I've elevated myself to include these types of trainings. I think video is certainly the next best thing. But however, I do have a mix that includes speaking. And if you're trying to get cash handled, speaking is powerful. So I wanted to talk about the kind of the overlay of all the different types of speaking that exist. I dive deeper into all of the details and kind of the explanation of each type in my program, the Brave Speaker program, which is an online course, or you can upgrade to the Accelerator, which gets coaching with me to help you kind of move through the modules and information faster. So I'm just going to give you the kind of the overview of what those types are. And if you want to learn more about how to get, more detail on that, please reach out and comment below. So first type is what I call free to offer, which means you show up in a room. They're not paying you to be there. They're probably covering your lunch. And covering if you're going to a lunch meeting, and they're covering your fee to attend, right? They're not making you pay to be there. So it's a very low entry process. And then they allow you to make an offer at the end. The offer can be free, like something complimentary that moves people to the next step with you. It can be a phone call or something like that. Or ultimately, you could also do a paid offer if they allow it. So free to offer is actually one of the most powerful types of speaking. That's what my program is really about, is helping people, helping you understand how to make that process work, because it's very systemizable. And I've completely systemized the ideas and created a structure so that you don't have to figure it out. Anyway, so free to offer is a very powerful marketing strategy in the game of speaking and getting visible. Number 2 is sponsorship. So right now I'm talking about the offline. So free to offer is an offline strategy. Sponsorships are another offline strategy. Again, that's when you show up at a conference or an event and you might be paying to be there. but you're getting huge access to someone else's audience. So that's number two. Number three is called hosted workshops, meaning you're putting on your own workshops, and there's a whole slew of different types of ways to do this. Again, I dive deeper into that in the program, but it's, you can go from small to large, and I've done both. I've done it all. I've done small to medium, large. So that is a powerful way to also increase your income, increase your exposure, build those relationships, share your expertise. All that is really powerful. And then number four, the other offline strategy is, of course, paid keynotes. And that obviously is exactly what it is. Somebody's paying you to be a speaker at their event or conference, etc. So then we move into some online strategies that I would still say yes to. One is the podcast interviews, and so of course that has been something I've said yes to for a long time, and it gets me visibility, it gets me access to other people that I may not be able to get to because it's worldwide. And however, just the reason I'm kind of sharing the online strategy secondary is because if you're in a position where you need to make faster cash and get clients faster, then online just has a slower return rate. And that's just something to keep in mind as you're creating your marketing mix, right? And so podcast interviews, again, I can tell you more later about that, but that is definitely a powerful strategy. Number two of the online strategies is what I call telesummits. And that's where, people bring you into a group of speakers, and someone's invited you to be one of their guests in their telesummit. I actually have been asked to be on probably like 5 telesummits. I've chosen a few. I don't overlap. I try to be very conscientious of my marketing calendar, right? Because you have to have time to promote. You have to have time for, to email your list and all of those things and say, hey, I'm going to be on this telesummit, please join me, those kind of things. So I'm very conscientious of my marketing plan, but I have been invited probably 5 or 6 in the last just couple months. So I've said yes to a few, and then there's some that are overlapping, and I just can't say yes to all of them, right? But they're great. They're great opportunities to be in front of more people, right? And then ultimately, the third one is Facebook Lives or live streaming or doing something like I am right now, videos, or you can do them live, etc. And again, that's one more way you can gain access to and show up in front of people online. Again, the thing to remember is that online is longer process, right? It just takes a little bit longer for people to respond. It doesn't mean it doesn't work. I'm not saying that, but again, I come back to that vital pace, that where are you in your business and what is your primary goal? If making money is your primary goal, I'm very strategic. Like, let's go after the fastest path and get the cash handled. Then you can start to invest your time and money and things like that online that are going to take a little bit longer to convert. And so it's just a balance of that and understanding where you are. So that's why, there's a lot of options. And one of the things I do for my clients is figure out which one's right for you based on where you are, what your goals are, and what you're trying to accomplish. So keep that in mind. This is just showing you, this conversation today is about showing you exactly what the game of speaking looks like, and that there's all kinds of options. And the only other thing I'll caution you with and leave you with is I find that a lot of people, and it was me too, at one time, I caught myself, is I was playing safe doing only the online strategies. And to be honest, even Facebook Lives I avoided because that was putting myself out there even more vulnerably online, right? So a lot of people play it safe and only say yes to online strategies and are wondering why they're not getting as much clients. So I do believe that the offline strategies are faster because they build faster relationship, right? It's about the relatedness. And so when you do the marketing mix, it's like, are you needing more money faster? Then let's put speaking at the top of the line, right? And getting in front of people and building those relationships faster. Not too long ago, I did another speaking gig, and I showed up in a room of like 20 women And it doesn't have to be a room of 100, right? 20 women, and I spoke for 20 minutes following my system, following my structure, and I generated $12,000 from those people in that room within the week after, the 2 weeks after. And so I just share that. Those are my stats. And by the way, I keep all of my conversion stats because I want to know. I want to know the facts. I want to know what's working. Oh, I did this and that worked, you know, right? So I share those facts with you so that you can see what's possible. And it just requires knowing how to structure your talk and put the system in place, right? So anyway, this is what I wanted to share with you today. I want to find out what strategies are you currently implementing. And certainly if you want a faster path to cash, mastery around speaking in general. And the truth is my system and structure and kind of what you learn in my programs and being a client of mine overlays all of these types, offline and online, because the system structure and the, you know, kind of the way people buy and the way people make decisions emotionally, et cetera, it's all the same. So ultimately, that is what you can take the system and kind of use them in all of these different types. So ultimately, so please let me know if you'd like to learn more about the program that I'm mentioning throughout. And it's just really powerful. It's just awesome to watch my clients take the structure and the system and the knowledge and go implement and get faster results. Like that's what's so cool about it, right? And so if you want to know more, I have a free webinar. You can go to bravemasters.com/free webinar. Or if you're like, I just want to talk to you, Jena, because I want to see if this is something that's right for me, you can actually go to apply.bravespeakeraccelerator.com and we can find out if it's the right fit for you at this right moment, right? So, all right, thanks for spending time with me again today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next training. Talk to you soon.